Happy Wednesday, first grade Smarties. I am so excited to be learning with you today because Monday we talked about ocean plants and how they adapt to live in the ocean. Today we're going to talk about ocean animals. Oh, I'm so excited because these animals are so unique because they have lots of adaptations. They have lots of way that they change in order to live in large bodies of water. How cool. So on Monday, we talked about how ocean plants, what do they try to do to be able to grow in water? Because they live in water. So they get plenty of water and they stick to ocean floor. But what do they do to get sunlight? They try to stay closer to the top, right? So we talked about plankton. We talked about how plankton can be different plants and animals, ocean plants and animals that stay on top of the water. So they get that water, but they're as close to the sun as they can be. We also talked about seaweed and kelp, how it can grow as long as a basketball court and it grows super tall in the ocean so it can reach that sunlight, right? So ocean plants adapt by trying to get as much sunlight as they can. We also talked about coral reefs. We learned that coral is actually an animal and they gather together in clusters and they make reefs, right? But they live off that ocean plant called algae. They use it as food, but they also protect it, right? So kind of weird. Today, we're going to be learning about some ocean animals and how they adapt, how they live in the ocean. So let's go on over to Pebble Go. Remember, Pebble Go is an informational resource that we learn about real life topics. So it gives us facts and information about whatever topic we want to learn about. So it says oceans are large, deep bodies of salt water. Now, this is important. Oceans and seas are made of salt water. Lakes and rivers, like if you're going, maybe you have a lake around you, or maybe you have a river or a stream that is made of fresh water. Ocean animals live in salt water. Fresh water means that it doesn't have salt in it. It says oceans cover 71% of Earth's surfaces. Millions of kinds of animals live in the ocean. So think about Tennessee. We don't live by the ocean. We have some lakes, we have some rivers. We see all kinds of different kinds of animals, but just think all the animals that we see on land, see in trees, see underground, there's millions of species of animals that live in the ocean. How cool is that? So if you can see over here in this picture, I'm seeing a lot of different types of fish, but I am also seeing those coral reefs. We're going to find out about these fish and what they do to adapt. It says the ocean is home to millions of fish. Fish have scales. You can kind of see them on this picture. Fish have scales and breathe with gills. So right here, under this fin is a gill. Those are they're like tiny slits in their sides that go in and out, and it helps them breathe. It says parrotfish are colorful fish that eat plants. So would parrotfish be a predator or would it be prey? Remember, predators are animals that eat other animals. Prey are animals that usually eat plants and insects, right? So this is a clown triggerfish that would be considered prey. It says swordfish and sharks eat smaller fish. So these animals have to adapt, right? They adapt by finding food that is best for them. So for sharks, they don't eat plants. Unfortunately, their best kind of food to help them live are different kinds of fish. Now they're going to eat smaller fish, right? Because they are predators. All right, let's move on to mammals. Ooh, we've talked about mammals now. When we've talked about mammals in the past, when we think of mammals, they usually have what? They usually have hair on their bodies, right? So look at this mammal right here. Now, most of us probably know what this animal is, right? It's a dolphin. So when we think of mammals, we know that they don't lay eggs. Their babies will grow inside of them. We know that they usually have hair or fur. They have to breathe with lungs and they are warm-blooded. Now, these animals are unique. A dolphin, it says ocean mammals breathe with lungs. Whales and dolphins breathe with blowholes. They hold their breath for a long time. Walruses, seals, and otters are also ocean mammals. So that means that these animals don't lay eggs. But look at the dolphin. It's very unique. Do you see the blowhole on top of it? So they hold their breath for a really long time underwater, but they have this adaptation. They have that blowhole that when they do come up for air, they take in all that air through their blowhole and then go back underwater and hold their breath. Walruses, seals, and otters are also ocean mammals. That means that they carry their babies in their bellies. They don't lay eggs. Right? So, and they also have to breathe with lungs. Very cool. Did you think that mammals could live in the ocean? Pretty cool stuff. I want everyone to say this word with me. Crustaceans. Your turn. Crustaceans. Crustaceans live on the ocean floor. So does that mean they live close to the top of the water or close to the bottom of the ocean? It means they live close to the bottom. When you think of floor, you think about your feet, right? So crustaceans live on the ocean floor. They have hard shells and many legs. Now, why do you think they have hard shells? Why would that be an adaptation? Why would they need those hard shells? I'm trying to think. Well, when I think of the different types of animals in the ocean, we talked about how fish in the ocean have those scales, right? They have those scales, but they eat a lot of plants. But sharks and swordfish eat those fish. Do you think with the crustaceans, so it says that crabs and lobsters have large claws and hard bodies, they have hard shells. Do you think that adaptation, the hard shell, would make it easy or hard for a shark to eat it? And why? I'm thinking out loud. I notice that hard shell would be really hard to break with teeth, right? It'd be really hard. So this animal has adapted by staying close to the bottom because sharks and swordfish, they don't like to stay at the bottom. A lot of fish like to stay close to the middle, right? Because a lot of coral reefs, those reefs grow from the ocean floor to about the middle. Sometimes we can see coral reefs on top of the water, not very often. So these crustaceans, everyone say crustaceans. These crustaceans adapt with this hard shell. It keeps them protected, right? It's like their own little home. It also says that crab and lobsters have large claws. Shrimp have plump bodies. Raise your hand if you've ever eaten shrimp. It's really good, right? It's really juicy. So when it says it's plump, that means it's they're big. Their bodies are big, but they still have that shell on the outside to protect them. Very unique. So we've learned about mammals, ocean mammals. We've learned about dolphins. We've learned about the clown triggerfish. We've learned about crabs and lobsters with their hard shells. Now we have one more. Everyone say invertebrate. Invertebrate. Invertebrate means that it does not have a backbone. So we all have backbones, right? It helps us stand tall. It helps keep our body together. Invertebrates are animals that do not have a backbone. Kind of unique. So if you look over here, this is a squid, and it says invertebrates swim and hunt in every ocean. Many have soft bodies and tentacles. What do you think these tentacles do? Squids and octopus grab prey with their tentacles. Ooh, so those tentacles help them do what? Grab onto other fish, right? Jellyfish and sea anemones use tentacles to sting prey. So if you've ever seen Finding Nemo, we learn that when they go through the jellyfish, when Dory and what's the dad's name? Marlin? Was it Marlin? Anyways, when they go through the jellyfish, what happens to them? They get stung, right? They get stung. So jellyfish are invertebrate. They don't have a backbone. So they swim and they have these tentacles that help them adapt. So these tentacles are their adaptation to get food. So they use their tentacles to sting their prey, and that way the prey can't move and they can eat it. So, and the squids and octopus, they have these tentacles that can help them hold on to their food, right? And it can also, their tentacles also help them move throughout the water. So there are many more kinds of ocean animals, but I want you to think these animals have to change. These animals have bodies that help them live in the ocean. Now, we didn't talk about any ways that they use shelter, right? Except for the crustaceans. They have those hard shells that protect them. I want you to think, though, if you or me, if we had to live in the ocean, what adaptations would we need? What would we have to do to live in the ocean? I want you to think about it. I want you to talk with your pet turtle, your mom, your dad, your grandma, grandpa, sister, brother. I want you to think, how would we eat in the ocean? How would we breathe? Where would we live? And how would we get fresh water? Because I don't know about you, I don't really like drinking salt water. So I want you to talk with your family. What are some adaptations we would have to make in order to live in the ocean? So next week, we will be talking about a new environment, a new habitat where animals live, animals and plants. And we're going to talk about what those plants and animals do in order to live in their environment. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to be curious. Don't forget to read a good book today. Today, it might be a little rainy, but that's okay. Have fun, play inside. If you can go outside, go play outside. It's going to be a great day for learning. I hope you guys are doing awesome. And here's your high five. Bye, guys.